Chime. Chimo. Oh, Chime. Kamporoziengiche na Golgotha. The sick will be healed.
Amen.
Those under bondage will be set free.
Amen.
Are you ready to follow me to Calvary?
Yes, sir. The chief priest and the elders persuaded the crowd to ask Pilate to set Barabbas free and have Jesus put to death. But Pilate asked the crowd, "Which one of these two do you want me to set free for you?" "Barabbas," they answered. "What then shall I do with Jesus, called the Messiah?" Pilate asked them. "Crucify him," they all answered. But Pilate asked, "What crime has he committed?" Then they started shouting at the top of their voices, "Crucify him!" When Pilate said that it was no use to go on, but that a riot might break out, he took some water, washed his hands in front of the crowd, and said, "I am not responsible for the death of this man. This is your doing." The whole crowd answered, "Let the responsibility for his death fall on us and on our children." Then Pilate set Barabbas free for them, and after he had Jesus whipped, he handed him over to be crucified. Then Pilate's
soldiers took Jesus into governor's palace, and the whole company gathered around him. They stripped off his clothes and put a sackcloth robe on him. They naked him. He was completely naked. Then they made a crown out of thorn branches and placed it on his head and put a stick on his right hand. Then they knelt before him and made a fun of him. "Long live the King of the Jews." They spat on him, and took the stick and hit him over the head. When they had finished making fun of him, they took the robe off and put his own clothes back on him. Then they led him out to be crucified.
As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon.
And the soldiers forced him to carry Jesus' cross. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Jesus wine mixed with bitter substance. But after tasting it, he would not drink it.
They crucified him
and then divided his clothes among them by throwing a dance. After that, they sat there and they washed him. Above his head, they put the written notice of the accusation against him. "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then they crucified the two bandits with Jesus, one on his right and the other on his left. People passing by shook their hands and hurled insult at Jesus. "You were going to tear down the temple and build it back up in 3 days. Save yourself if you are God's son. Come down from the cross." In the same way, the chief priests and the teachers of the law and the elders made a fun of him. He saved others, but he can't save himself. Is he not the King of Israel? If he will come down of the cross now, we will believe in him. He trusts in God and claims to be God's son. Well, then, let us see if God wants to save him now. Even the bandits who had been crucified with him insulted him in the same way. At noon, okay, here we are, man. At noon, around 3 o'clock, the whole country was covered with darkness because the master of light was about to go. The one who says, "I am the light of the world." The one who came into the world. Oh, the one who says in John 10:10, "Even though the enemy have come to kill, steal, and destroy, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundant." Close your eyes and follow me to where we are going now. The whole family was covered with darkness, which lasted for 3 hours. About 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, Eloi, Eli, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why do you abandon me? There are many of us that feel abandoned. God has not abandoned you. Today, He will comfort you.
Amen.
He will comfort your family.
Amen.
Some people standing there heard him and he said, he is calling for Elijah. One of them ran up at once and took a sponge, soaked it with sheep wine, put it on the end of the stick, and tried to make him drink it. But the others said, wait, let us see if Elijah is coming to save him. Jesus again gave a loud cry and breathed his last. Then, immediately he stopped breathing. The curtain hanging in the temple was torn into two from top to bottom. The earth shook. Alamama jijiji. Akale kuna ochichiri but everywhere. People were still shouting that darkness covered the whole world. Darkness covered the whole world. They are still crying for darkness. Earthquake started happening. People were not suffering of darkness and earthquake. The curtain tore into two. Oburuna Chineke keruwa. The earth shook. The rock split apart. The grave broke open. Ili piawasia. Nderi ne mama ha nwura we kechirekechi ana kulitesi anili. O were ụmụ mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ekechirekechi. Ụmụ ikrobịa egburu egbu sị ha akpakwala ike kechie ha with the chain. Tata aka ọbụla ji ha n'ili na hapụ ha.
Amen.
It's a freedom for death and living. And many God's people who had died were raised to life. I want you to follow me to Calvary. I want you to meditate over what happened over 2,000 years ago.
Jesus kwuru ụgwọ. Eluigwe kwuru ụgwọ. Ọ kwụrụ ụgwọ ji n'obe. Ọ gbasara aka ya, o tiri mkpu, o biri akwa n'elu bi. Ọ bụ ihe ọbụbiri bụ. Rakwa ya n'obe. Ila masabachthani. Ọ bụ ihe ọbụbiri bụ. Ọ na-emetụ m n'obi, ọ na-emetụ m n'arụ. Mgbe ncheta ọnwụ ọ nwụrụ n'ihi m.
Ịmasị Jizọs akwụọla ụgwọ m. Eze Jizọs akwụọla ụgwọ m. Nwanne otu onye akwụọla ụgwọ. Nwanne otu onye akwụọla ụgwọ. Ụgwọ m nne m ji.
Ọ kwụọla ya.
Nke nna m jile.
Ọ kwụọla ya.
Nke ezinụlọ ji.
Ọ kwụọla ya.
Nke ụmụnna m ji.
Ọ kwụọla ya.
Sị gị laba.
Ọ kwụchala ụgwọ gị.
Sị gị laba.
Ọ kwụchala ụgwọ gị.
Laba.
Ọ kwụchala ụgwọ gị.
Sista m la.
Ọ kwụọla ya.
Ihe mere n'obe o.
Ọ kwụchala ya.
Ihe mere n'obe.
Ọ kwụchala nụ ya.
Nwanne m laba o.
Ọ kwụchala ya.
Oh.